Hello everybody, and welcome to episode 35 of Omnifactory. I might sound a bit different. I have changed up my mic situation a little bit, so I'll probably be playing around with that a bit. Hopefully everything still sounds okay. I want to try to make things a bit better. So I have this nicer mic, and I figured I might as well start using it. So tweaks might come in the future, but today we are obviously not in our normal world. We are again back in the test world where I have all my various test things, and that's because we are looking at processing ore today. And I want to try and make this as compact as possible, so I've set this up, and I think everything should work as expected. And I just want to talk through it a bit here first, and then we can go into our main world and go try to build it there. So yeah, what do I have here is just a couple CEFs. They're both HV, but I think in my main world I'll do this one LV because this CEF is only supplying the packagers. I could probably get away with using one CEF for both, but the packagers are really fast regardless of whatever type of voltage you use. So I think this is fine as is. But yeah, so ores in Omnifactory, the doubling and tripling, quadrupling process is very different than a lot of other mod packs. So if we take a look at like ruby ore, for example. So let's get a bunch of that. And if we want to actually look at how that works, the basic flow kind of goes like, get me into creative is annoying with this, is so we could just smelt it down to rubies, obviously. But I think the basic idea is that we have these byproducts that we can get, and those are increasingly useful for certain type of ores. So ruby is a great example because chrome is very useful for stainless steel. So I want to maximize my chrome output. I don't really care about having the actual ruby gems. So we will first pulverize it down and get some chrome that way, and then also 2 times the crushed ruby ore. And then we'll run it through an ore washer, which can get some more chrome, and then run it through another pulverizer, which will get some red garnet dust, which in this example isn't that useful, but there could be some different byproducts where it is. And then we can centrifuge that out to finish it off, which will just get ruby dust and red garnet dust. And then of course the ruby dust can be electrolyzed further, but that won't be part of the process that we're setting up today. So yeah, I've kind of set it up like that. So we're using, if I bring out my screwdriver here, so this is something I haven't messed with much, but the also I think I'm going to turn this down a bit. I think it's clipping very slightly. We're using conveyor covers, or like the actual conveyor belts that you can make in GregTech. So the LV conveyor module is right here, so it can actually be used outside of just being a part of a machine or something like that. So I've been spending a lot of time kind of figuring out how these work, and they can basically transfer machines to and from each other. So I have it set up right here to, right here it automatically inputs, or no, this is the automatically output button. So if I switch this on, then it should automatically output out of the side where the conveyor module is, and basically throw it right into here. So, but it's also set up with a filter. So this is an ore dictionary filter, and basically it says, okay, if anything is crushed, so if we look at the crushed ruby, if you hold shift, the ore dictionary name for that is crushed ruby. So this is saying if it has the word crushed in it, then send it to the right over to this ore washer. And if it doesn't, so for example, that chrome dust we were looking at, then it will send it above to this chest, which is just another conveyor cover. And this is actually a blacklist on crushed. So there's only 2 ways it can go. So we should see chrome go into here, and then crushed ruby go into here. And I kind of have it set up down this whole line. So the same with the ore washing, except it's looking for crushed purified. Then it goes back into the macerator and it's looking for pure. And then it filters out anything that isn't supposed to go into the next machine to the chest above, or else this would get backfilled with items that aren't supposed to go in here. Like if I accidentally sent ruby ore into here, all of a sudden this ore processing situation is broken and we can't do much about it. So whenever a material gets sent into the chest above, it's just going to all filter over into this chest, which is a larger buffer chest that we have set up. And that is the main processing unit. These 4 machines should take care of the majority of what we're doing. And there are one-offs where we can expand upon this and add in like a thermal centrifuge and a few other machines that can process things a little bit finer, but this will get us a lot more output for some of the more valuable ores. Also for water, I just have an infinite water source down here. But then over here, I have packagers set up, and this is because a lot of the times, let's look at Ruby again, which I got rid of because I'm dumb. Or I guess we don't actually have to. So we can get basically tiny piles of chrome dust, and in some of the recipes, we can also get small piles of chrome dust. So with these, we need to send them into a packer or a packager, however you want to say it, and basically turn it into the chrome dust itself. So I have some more filters set up. So this steel chest will say, hey, if it's a tiny dust, send it to this one, which is configured to take it in. And if it is something else, just send it to the dust chest to the right. And then this will say, if it's a small dust, you go over here into this packager. Yeah, and then basically everything gets packaged up into whole dusts and then sent into here. So I've been doing some testing, obviously. We were testing with antimony or tetrahedrite, I guess, was what we were testing with. And yeah, this should work out all right. So I haven't gone through a lot of the specific filters, but we can take a look. Like this is basically, it's kind of the same deal. It's just OR dictionary filters, and it says if it's a dust tiny, go this way. If it's not, go this way. And then this is basically filtering small dust down here and putting it into the chest here. And then this can just hook up into our ME system and do its thing. So just to run this as an example, I'll throw some Ruby in here. And we actually have a conveyor module to the right of here, importing everything from this chest. So it gets thrown to this macerator, and stuff above it, like any chrome, would get put into there. And then the actual crushed Ruby ore is getting ore washed, then that gets put into the macerator after that, which you just saw that happen really quick. And then it kind of all filters through, eventually gets to the centrifuge and into the packers. We can see the chrome dust going in here. Yeah, it's doing its thing. Also, with these, I have it set up as a robot arm. I guess I didn't update this, but you can have it so that it supplies exactly 9, so that something doesn't get backstuffed. And this should supply exactly 4. That way, yeah, nothing's going to get input. So even though there's a tiny pile of red garnet dust here, it's not going to get input until this steel chest actually hits 9 of those. So that if we are stuck at 6 for a really long time and then we're processing something different, it doesn't just back stuff until we process that same ore again, if that makes sense. Before I go back to my test world, I'm going to show a graphic really quick that hopefully helps demonstrate this a bit better. So let me bring that up. All right, so yeah, this helped me understand it a lot more, and I got this off of the Omnifactory Discord, which I definitely recommend joining if you are getting pretty into this pack. But yeah, it kind of demonstrates what I had set up. So you have an input, and then the main machines are these orange blocks. So the macerator, then the washing machine, macerator, centrifuge, and then we have the packagers that do the configured stuff. And then it also kind of helps to say how you set up your actual filters. So like I was showing in-game, like you want to distinguish between the crushed and the non-crushed ores, and then the crushed purified, then the dust pure, and then the dust tiny. So yeah, this is a very, very helpful graphic I have found. And there are more complex ones, but I think this is enough for what we have here. Yeah, so just to give a more visual, not in-game representation of how this works. Take a look at this, and you can see the URL right here, Crimson Pure Springtail, I guess, if you want to actually visit this and take a look yourself. But okay, so I'm going to head to my survival world, and then we should be able to build this up and get going. So I'll be right back. All right, we are back in the main world, and I'm underground right now. So I'm just wiring up some wires to actually bring power over here. And I just realized I hope I have enough. We will see. We will see. Not something I really thought about beforehand. I'm also hoping that with this new mic that my clicking isn't going to be too loud. I think it's definitely picking up the clicking a bit more. I was listening a bit in between cuts, and it might, but if that's too much of a problem, I can mess with it again and see if I can figure out a good solution for working with that. But I do think the sound quality is a lot better, so it would be nice to keep using this mic, but we'll see. It's a work in progress. Okay, so I was also getting some rubber because I am making some actual wiring. And so I've bookmarked some of the things that we're going to need to actually make everything. So we need our different HV machines, so the centrifuge, the ore washer plant, and then we're gonna need 2 of these macerators. And then I've already made the LV machines, but yeah, so let's go ahead and make those first. So we're first gonna need a bunch of machine holes for HV, I believe. I think 5 in total, because we're gonna need to make the CEF as well. And so for the macerator, we need to make some of these grinding heads. So I think this is the best one to make. So we need 2 macerators in total. So do I have everything? Okay, we need to make some of the pistons, the HV pistons, which looks like we are out of stainless steel plates for, so I can get a bit more of those cooking. And then I'm really excited to get this set up mainly so that we can get more stainless steel production going on, because I'm being a bit stingy with it because we're getting low on stainless steel. Where are we? 260. I mean, that's still a good amount, but our main blocker right now is chrome, and then we also need the other manganese. I think that's the other one that we need. Yeah. Okay, so we need a couple of these. I'm sure we're gonna need 4 sounds good. I'm sure we'll need some of them. Actually, let me get some more gold cables going on as well. Okay, so now we should be able to make the 2 macerators that we need, except we just used up our gold cables. That's okay, we're getting more of that. So let's grab our vibrant alloy wires. And while we're waiting for gold cables, are they coming in? Nice, we got a few at the very least. So our 2 macerators, and then we need our actual CEF as well. So do we have what we need? I think we need more vibrant alloys, vibrant alloy wires. Which vibrant alloy I've been making a lot of. It's looking good. Oh, also, speaking of blast furnace things, we have a lot of modularium now, and I think this is actually enough to get our endgame quest. I still have a bit more to go through. Looks like about 59 more. Unless that's, yeah, that should be working fine. We should be able to get some free coinage from that. Cool. So, bit of a lag there. I'll grab some more of these, and we need just a bit of the 4x cabling. And that should get us the CEF for HV. Now we need an ore washing plant as well, which I think we have everything for, maybe not. We need some steel rotors, which I believe I actually have a recipe for. I forget if I showed me making that recipe or not. But that was pretty cool, because you need to make the steel rings, and then there's an assembler recipe with soldering alloy, and this is the equivalent of a nugget's worth. So I have a recipe to make soldering alloy nuggets, and then it works the same way as the wires. But yeah, and then I also made a steel ring recipe for the extruder that we set up. But I've been doing a bit of automation here and there on and off camera, so like. I don't really remember what I've set up and shown you guys, but essentially I need more and more machines as time goes on, so this will probably continue to grow, and we'll see as that goes. But yeah, I'm thinking ore processing in this corner is a pretty good place. So do we got those steel rotors? Yes, we do. So we should get our ore washing plant here, and we're gonna need water for that as well. And the last machine is a centrifuge, which is very processor heavy, but should be good there. Oh, looks like I need one more machine hole. Oh, I just didn't pull it in for some reason. Okay, cool. So I think that should be the machines that we have, and then we have the actual vibrant alloy. So let's go over here, and I'm gonna try to mimic how I set it up in the test world. So this is the CEF, and then I'll lay down some cable for that. And the way it will go will be macerator, ore washing plant, macerator, centrifuge. Cool. And then over here, And I'm gonna need to also bring the cabling over here, or the wires. Can I get down? Thank you. Why can't I, oh, I guess I need to go up anyway. Okay, cool, that should work. So that also has power, and I guess I need some conductive iron cabling as well, which I don't have. Okay, that's okay. I can do the packagers later. But while we're here, so we're going to need some of those OR dictionary filters and also some conveyor modules to pass items to and from each other. So the conveyor modules, those are easy. It's just a bunch of motors, I believe. And the LV versions are fine, even though they're on HV machines. They do 8 a second, which is more than enough. So let me grab, like, sure, 7. I guess that's all the motors I had. And as far as the OR dictionary filters go, so these, they take olivine plates, which I just ended up buying some of the ore because I didn't have any ore on me, but you just smelt out some olivine, make some olivine blocks, and then throw it through a cutting saw, and that's the best way to get that. So I'll grab some of these. 8 for now. We can always get more. I think we might need more, but that should be good. And then we're also going to need a few other tools. So like a wrench, a screwdriver. These would be good to have. All right, so let's try and set it up. Oh, last thing, we need some chests. And we want to use the GregTech chests because those are easy to basically auto import and export from. I think regular chests might work, but GregTech chests just play a bit nicer. So I think to make the GregTech chest, I thought it was just that, but maybe it's with a wrench. Chest for GregTech. Oh, it's a soft hammer. Okay, I see. Which I think I have one of those, right? Yeah, nice. Okay, so I'll just grab 8 for now. And then I also want to make some of the steel chests because they have a bit more space in them. So for where items might get built up to a great area, I'll use a steel chest there. So first thing is first, where we want to set the auto imports. So that can be done by, I think, just using a, yeah, this is how I did it before, a conveyor module. So on this side, we're going to set up a conveyor module, and we want to say import items into that chest. So if we do that, it should go in here. Yeah, that should work well. So we have our first step done. That's good. That wasn't too hard though. And now we want to work on setting up our filters. So the first one, like I was doing before, we want to say if you have, so this is the OR dictionary filter that I was talking about. If you have a blacklist on crushed ore, put it into the chest. So anything that isn't crushed ore, put into the chest. And then are we also going to need a conveyor module for that? Did I already put one of those in here? Wow. Huh, I didn't know they use pickaxes for the chests. That's interesting. Okay, so I think we actually need... Is there any way to take this off without breaking the whole thing? So I'm thinking that we actually need to use a conveyor module on that, actually. So I'm kind of learning this as we go as well. But I think, yeah, we will need that. So a conveyor module, and then if we... Okay, I see. Then we can configure the conveyor module to say only insert non-crushed items into here. That seems right? We're exporting from the macerator, doing the most that we can, and then that'll go into the chest like so. And then on the right side, we're going to say also export, but on the filter of a whitelist of crushed items. Cool, and then that should send the crushed items successfully to the ore washing plant. So I want to get some ores just to test this out and make sure I'm doing it right. Just grab a stack of the tetrahedrite ore. And give me a sec. Alright, sorry about that. There was someone outside putting trash into a dumpster and talking on the phone at the same time, which was a bit annoying. So if we put in a tetrahedrite ore, alright, cool, we already did something wrong. That's great. Oh, that's also broken. So I thought oh, whoops, we took off the conveyor module. So I want to import all items from this chest into here. Cool, so that's working. And I'm also gonna press this button to auto export, so that should have, okay, cool. The stone dust went into the wooden chest, and then the ore washing plant got the crushed tetrahedrite ore. All right, next step, water source, because we actually need to wash the ore. So we're going to be using endervars just because the compact water sources are pretty annoying to make. So I guess we need a cauldron, which I can make really quick, and then get the endervars. And thinking if we just do like that, that seems good enough to me. And then I'm also going to want, well, actual water might be good. So let me grab some of that. What just happened? How do I manage to spill water all over my base, like, frequently? It's so weird. Like, what was that glass breaking? I'm not sure. But okay, we got water. So we can fill up our infinite water source. That should be good now. And then we get some ender fluid conduits. And say extract always active. Cool, that seems to be working. I want to make sure this is only inserting. And cool, now it is washing ores. So yeah, we're getting the tiny piles of antimony dust, and then also the crushed purified ore. So we need to set up our filters accordingly for that. All right, so that means we're gonna need another chest and then a conveyor module on top. And that is going to, well, I don't want it to actually export yet, but too bad, I guess. So this is going to blacklist the crushed purified. And so that's exporting, that looks right to me. And then another conveyor module to the right, set up similarly with a whitelist on the crushed purified. Cool. And now we are in macerator land again. So we're kind of just gonna do the same thing. I can probably speed this up a bit. So on the top, we are setting up a filter to blacklist, what was it? Dust pure. Let me double check that. So this will be used to get the crushed, then we're gonna ore wash that, and then we're gonna pulverize it again. So yeah, dust pure looks like the ore dictionary name. Oh, and by the way, those little X's, those are asterisks, which is just like a wild card, which it mentions here, but this is a very cryptic character. It's hard to tell what that is, but it's an asterisk. Cool, that was the one for above, right? So blacklisting dust pure for above, and then to the right, did I already set one up? Nope. To the right, we want to whitelist dust pure. Cool. Okay, let me run one more test. And then it looks like I'm gonna need to make some more conveyor modules. Ore washing, we got some purified, oh, we had already messed that up. But it looks like we are not getting any more purified ores up there. And now this is going to centrifuge, awesome. Cool, cool. Okay, so this is looking good to me. I think this half is pretty much done. Now we can use regular item conduits to just extract from these chests, and then we're going to be bringing it over to the next section, which is going to be the packaging section. So we're just going to have the two packagers right here, and then we can set it the same way with having like a chest here, and then we can hook up our ME system for this to import into that chest, and then we should be good. But I need to make a few more things, cabling, and then a few more conveyor modules and robot arms as well. So let me do that, and I'll be right back. Cool, I think we are looking good. So we got some, first things first, we're gonna need to set up some cabling for our CEF here. Also, do you like how I organized this to be the perfect 6 blocks by 6 blocks so that it fits nicely in the corner? I was thinking ahead. I'm pretty proud of my design here, not gonna lie. Anyway, so how I had this set up is we have a packager on each side of this. And then we're also gonna need something I didn't think about, a couple of the circuits. So one for this, and then take one more and turn it into the program circuit. And so the program 1 turns 9 tiny dusts into 1 single dust, and program 2 will turn the small dusts into regular dusts. So I'll set that up accordingly. I'm kind of just mimicking what I had in the test world. Yeah, so then our large buffer chest goes here. So everything in here, what we want is to just go into this steel chest. So does that get it? And you just need to set these all to extract all the time. And I guess I didn't need to push these buttons on these. It looks like the conveyor module did that for it. Which maybe I guess I don't need the conveyor module. Oh no, I needed to set up the filters at least. Maybe I could have done that better, but that's okay. Conveyor modules are cheap anyway. So yeah, we'll see in the steel chest we have a bunch of dusts, and some of them are tiny, and then we should also account for if some of them are small. So we want this to process our tiny dusts into regular dusts. So we want to set up a robot arm, because we want to be able to, the nice thing between robot arms compared to conveyor modules is they can supply exact. So we want to say supply exact 9 of these, and then filter on dust tiny. And oh, this should also be importing, because we are importing from the chest above it into this. So is it happy with that? Looks like it is, cool. So it already did the zinc, and now it's bringing the tiny pile of antimony dust. And see how it's a multiple of 9? Okay, it looks like that's not a good example because that was perfect. But it should only be taking in 9 at a time, and then this will transform it into normal dust, and we want it to export into this chest over here. So actually for now, what I'm gonna do is remove this chest, and I think it's so weird, the picks, that's so weird. I think if I just do this, that should set the export side. No, we need a wrench, actually. Can I use this wrench? Oh, no, I can't. Let me grab my GregTech wrench really quick. I thought I brought that out, but maybe not. If we just do that, then we should get the auto export. Can we do that? Okay, cool. That's where the buttons are useful. Nice, nice. Cool, and now we have the tiny dust turned into normal dusts. Awesome. Okay, so now we want to set up a few more things. So we want to basically use chests as filters, because we can't set up an item filter and use a conduit. So we can just use a chest to do the filtering. So we're gonna basically pass everything over to here. So that's as simple as just putting on a conveyor module. Which you can do with GregTech chests. I think this is where getting GregTech chests are very useful. So yeah, this is just exporting. So that should have just already passed everything into this chest. And then we want to do the same to the bottom chest, but with a filter that it's not a small dust, because we want the small dust to get passed over here. So I can put on another conveyor module. Oh, looks like I need to do it from here, actually. And I want to say for anything that you're importing, filter to say not dust small. And it looks like it did it, so we'll do everything. Let me grab something of a small dust just to double check that this will work. So that should not go in, right? Awesome. And then this filter is also set up. Actually, no, we don't need a filter for this. Wait. Yes, we do. We want to make sure that tiny dusts don't get brought in, because we want tiny dust to only go below here, but in the multiples of 9. Okay, cool. So we're gonna need another conveyor module going to the right here, and this says export it over to the next chest only if it is a dust small. Yeah, right? Okay, so it's a whitelist exporting for dust small. That seems good to me. And that did that successfully, right? Oh, whoops. No, where did I put that? Okay, I need to redo it. Because I don't know of a way to not do that. Oh, I was doing so good, too. I should not click things with, how do I... There we go, I'll put that there. Okay, let's set that up again. So we want to configure this to send a whitelist of dust to small. Okay, now I've put that in there, it should go over here. And if we put everything in there, it should get split up accordingly. Cool, that's looking good to me. And now we want to do the same thing that we did on this side and just set up a robot arm to say supply exactly 4 this time, because for small dusts, you'll need 4. And we don't really need a filter for this because everything coming into here, it's already filtered over here. So it should be fine like this. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all we need to do. And then we are importing into this machine. So since we only have 2, we shouldn't be seeing that, but let me grab more zinc dust. Can I make this? Okay. So now 4 should get brought in, and then it got transformed into another zinc dust and put back into here. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. And you can also see how it only takes in multiples of 4, so that we're never going to get backstuffed. So it just did it all and then put it back into this chest. That is working exactly how I intended it to work. So I think this is looking good. Let's just throw in a decent amount of tetrahedrite ore just to test things out. And then we should see dusts get filled into here. And the reason I'm using a steel chest here is because I imagine after doing this for a while, we could have like 3 or 6 types of dust for like many different, like there's so many different tiny dusts. Oh my god, look at that. That's insane. So I could see this chest kind of getting full of that. Probably won't happen for a while, but looks like things are working well. We're getting the tiny dust, but it's not getting put into this packager until we hit 9. And then everything else is working like a charm, actually. This is doing great. Looks like the big bottleneck is going to be the ore washing plant, but that's okay. This is kind of a set it and forget it type thing. I'll take this zinc dust back out here. But yeah, we should be getting a bunch of tetrahedrite ore, and then importantly, antimony, which is really what we're going for. This is used to make the soldering alloy ingots. And I also want to get some ruby ore going. I can just buy a bit of ruby ore, and I'll just throw that into the chest and let that go after the tetrahedrite. Because this means that I can get chrome from not electrolyzing redstone, which is a bit annoying. Like, I've been doing this for so long, and this is only getting me, what, like 13 pieces of chrome? It's not really very sustainable. So ruby's kind of expensive, but with a half stack, we should be able to get a decent amount of chrome because we have this all set up. But yeah, I'm going to call this a completed build. Wait, there's one more thing we need to do. I actually want to set up the import into the ME system. So let's do that really quick, and then I'll wrap up the episode. So we just need an import bus, and then some cabling. Cool, we got that already, and then conduits. This should be pretty quick to set up. So we already have a wire going on, right? Awesome. So I'm going to be putting it down there, and then I'll just set up an import bus and one of these, and we don't need any kind of filter because we want it to just say anything in here, throw it into our storage system. So how do I get over here successfully is the real question. This will go over here, over there, and then I can just wire it under here at the same spot that the power is done. And this is kind of a pain to do, but I like to try and keep it relatively neat, and I think this is helping to accomplish that. Just doing my thing. There used to be a way to like automatically do this. I think that'd be pretty nice. Where do I have any ME storage set up? Oh, okay, it's right here. I can probably just hook right into one of those machines, and that should get it into the network. I'm just breaking everything. Cool, there, I found ME cabling. All right, and we are hooked in. And I can kind of fill in stuff this way. I might have missed a spot here or there, but I can clean that up after. But now we should see all of our stuff go away. Cool, it is getting imported into our storage system. Awesome. Ooh, wait, I don't like that. Okay, that's something I should actually probably handle. Just because that limits the chance that you're gonna get an off item. Interesting. Give me a sec to think about this. Okay, so I think I figured out how to fix this issue, although I don't think I can do it very gracefully. I think we just need a buffer chest, just so that we can put in a bunch of different types of ores and don't have to worry about them getting stuck into this output, because you see how those, if we look at like chrome dust, for example, so we can get that from from pulverizing ruby ore here, and there's a chance of this, but this chance, it's secondary to this output, so a lot of the times if we have this output slots already full, we don't even have a chance of getting that chrome dust. And one more side note is that this chance actually increases with HV. It gets up to like 50%-ish. And then the higher tier the machine, the better the chance of the byproduct. So that's why I'm using HV machines. That, and obviously it's a lot quicker, which is nice to have. So what I've done is I've rotated this around, and I'm gonna redo how these conveyor belts work. So I'm still gonna have them over here, and let's see if I can do this right again. Where did my screwdriver go? So over on the right side, I want it to export, and this is where I'm gonna store all the different crushed ores. So a whitelist on crushed ores for exporting it, so that seems right to me. And then the top will still be, that still has that, right? Oh, I think I had to break and replace this, so I already lost that. So that's also gonna have a conveyor belt with a blacklist on crushed ores. Cool. Okay, sorry, I needed to take care of something really quick. So yeah, on the right side, we are getting the crushed ores, and then on the upper side, we're getting the non-crushed ores, and the upper side is handled accordingly already. And then I think it's just gonna be a matter of just piping in from here, which probably won't be very pretty, but we can make it work. I'm thinking I'll just run some item conduits and do it like so. So I can just insert on green here and extract on green here. And okay, so now if I say take a crushed tetrahedrite ore, it should get filtered right into here and do its thing. Cool, that seems to all be working well. And then as far as the input chest goes, since we can't import directly in front of this, I think I'm also going to just use a buffer chest, throw it right here, and do the same thing. Again, I might try to clean this up. I don't really have any, wow, it's so annoying with step assist. So I'll just say this comes out on brown. And where's my Yeta wrench? And say this inserts on brown for the macerator. So now if I take a couple ruby ores and a couple tetrahedrite ores, let's see if that works. I think it should. I also need to move this cable down a bit, but that's something I can do after. So now it's making tetrahedrite ore, and this should get blocked, right? I don't want to see anything getting stuck in the wrong place. Okay, so now the tetrahedrite ore is in here, and it's not going to go in until this ruby ore comes out, which is good now. Cool. And then the ore washing plant is definitely the biggest bottleneck, so we don't have to worry about doing the same thing for other ones. I'll be right back. Ooh, okay, sorry about that. So close to the end, but I keep on getting interrupted with various things. But yeah, okay, so we got the buffer chest here, and everything seems to work well. And then it got brought into this wooden chest and imported into the system. All that's really left to do is just clean up this stuff, and then I would call this pretty much complete. Just to get this all sorted out, let me also make this look a bit nicer. Cool. Awesome. It's not as pretty as it was before, but I think it will do. Cool, so I'll just throw in these ores to get processed up, and there's some other ores that I have that need to work as well, so awesome. This is working as a buffer chest as well now. Well, I guess we already had that, but okay, so yeah, I think everything is working well, and if it doesn't, I'm sure I'll find out and I can address it in the next episode, but I'm going to call it for this one. As of right now, we now have ore processing fully automated. Some improvements can be made in the future, but I think for now this is a time to have it done. I think it's very worthwhile to get this all set up and automated. So if you made it this far, thank you for tuning in, and hopefully the sound quality was a bit better. I'm gonna rewatch this episode and see if there's anything I should tweak to make it any better. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.